Hi everyone, and welcome to the B-Movie DVD commentary. I'm here with the makers of the film, directors, writers, producers, and editors. You're going to meet them all, and you're going to get our impressions of different things that we liked and things that we tried, and some succeeded, some failed, and a little bit of the inside world of the making of the movie.
There is no way
Hope you enjoy.
Should be able to fly.
I'm Barry Martyr, one of the co-writers on the B-Movie, and
That's it.
That's all you got. Hello, I'm Simon J. Smith. I'm director of the B-Movie.
I'm Jerry Seinfeld. I'm the star of the movie.
I'm Stephen Hickner. I'm one of the directors of B-Movie.
Christina Steinberg, the producer, one of the producers on B-Movie.
Nick Fletcher, the editor.
This is my company, by the way, Columbus 81 Productions.
Is that the first time it's been in a
It's
movie?
the first time it's ever on screen anywhere, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Do you also want to talk, Trey, about that idea you had about the Frisbee? When we actually had that scene where the Frisbee hits the hive.
right.
Remember
That's
that?
right.
That's right. How about that?
The movie used to begin with a Frisbee actually hitting the hive and the
right.
emergency
And all the bees,
bee workers
right.
swing into action and sirens.
And they patched it up in like 10
We
seconds.
cut it
Right.
because nobody laughed.
I love that inside Barry's home, everything's made of wax, combinations of wax and honey.
Right.
There's no other substance inside the hive. It's either wax or honey. And like honey's good for everything. You can put in your car for petrol. You can put on your cereal. You can drink it. You can eat it. You can fry it, cook it. It's very multi-purpose substance.
I love the way he does his hair there.
that's some real Bert Convy hair on top there, isn't it?
We'll be in row 118,000.
Barry, I told you, stop flying in the
I was
house.
thinking Barry's car looked just like your car.
It does. I have a little car like that.
Yeah?
The way his car spins out of
Yeah.
We had to. I made sure that there was a nice little oversteer there.
I like this shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll put that in.
Yeah, there's lots of great little details.
What does it say under Frisbee hits hive?
Internet down.
Internet down. What does it say under that?
I
It
do not
says
know. Can we go back and
the
look?
person heard a sound and then whammo.
Right.
Something like
Because Whammo, of course, being the company that makes Frisbee,
Correct.
we thought that was pretty clever.
What else do they make?
That's it.
I think
they
just
make the
Frisbee.
Higby.
I think they make Wheelo and they make Water Wiggle.
Really?
Steve would know.
These have great sound effects too.
Yeah.
Will Files, who's the sound designer on the movie, along with the brilliant people from Skywalker, did an amazing job.
Going to his funeral? Everybody knows you sting someone, you die. You don't waste it on a squirrel. He was such a hothead.
Yeah, I guess he could have just gotten out of the way.
Now this joke, I think, is the oldest joke in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Lasted,
Which I love. It has lasted from day one.
and it was in different
And it's been in
places.
different places, but you always wanted to save it.
The squirrel joke.
Yeah.
Out of the 212 scripts.
Yeah, it survived all of it.
This is one of my favorite things in the movie is the bee atlas holding up the flower with the globe in the middle of the flower.
Yeah, that was.
Today we are men.
That was
Yeah.
And all the character effects guys did brilliant things like the tassel on the
Right.
multiple. It's really lovely.
That's Larry Miller.
Yay!
It was actually Dean Boswell, who is the head of this college that Barry goes to, and Larry Miller does such a good job at keeping the enthusiasm of Boswell and how much he loves working in honey.
And begins your career at Honex Industries.
Are we going to pick our jobs?
The bees seem to fit in with the weight problem of today, don't they? They look
Yes.
like teenagers.
I don't know what you're talking about, Barry.
They were the first society to have a weight problem.
That's right. The bees were the front runner
Too much
of
sugar.
Husky, of children's Husky.
Yeah. Too much sugar.
It is. It's the sugar, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they got rid of the honey and the sugar, they would be slimmed down.
Welcome to Honex, a division of Honesco and a part of the Hexagon Group.
This is it.
Do you want to talk about the fight that Barry used to have with Dean
I know, I was
Boswell?
just thinking, like, we remember the movie used to open with Barry being interviewed for his job.
Well, we should show that scene.
I think it may be one of the
We
extras.
can't stop them from stopping the movie now. We can't. Let's keep going.
We'll show it later.
These are great colors.
Yeah.
This whole sequence used to be an interview with Barry.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We settled on this.
And this is actually the first time we've ever seen it all completed.
This is the first time I've ever watching this.
Yeah.
actually.
With all the effects finished.
With everything
which is-
finished in it,
Great.
graded, and everything.
Yeah, that wasn't finished when we wrapped the movie.
No. And it wasn't finished when I was doing the grade either.
No.
There used to be an empty desk beat there, where the bees saw an empty desk and they leaped to fill the job instantly.
Empty desk.
And this, you never have seen this with the newspaper all
Well,
filled
that
up
sure
either.
was pretty good. Fat free.
That's good.
That came out great.
Is that what it's
White
called?
magazine, yeah.
Wow, what does that do?
Catches that little strand of
I love the noise of the...
How many iterations of the Krellman design did we do?
Yeah.
That's true. Remember, there used to not be bees on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Work on the Krellman.
Of course, most bees.
My wife was pointing out to me that you actually learn quite a bit about a number of different things. You learn about bees. You learn about kind of a biological interdependency of the planet.
Yeah.
You know, how insects and humans and animals and produce all kind of work and depend on each other. And it really wasn't anything that we, put in there. We certainly weren't trying to educate anybody, but it was just necessary for us to tell our story to make these little points. And we found ways of kind of sliding it in so, the medicine goes down with a little bit of sugar. You don't even realize you're learning something about the world when you watch the film. And she was saying it's such a nice thing for kids that they actually learn something.
It is,
besides
absolutely.
being entertained.
I think that's part of what we wanted to try and do with Barry. That's a nice little...
Look at that
that's
form
great.
dissolve.
That's a nice little circle dissolve right there from Star Wars.
Choice to have to make. Well, I'm a lead. Now we only have...
Now this is the last scene that we completed.
Yes.
This was the most difficult one, remember?
This
A lot
was
of
really
versions
tricky.
of this.
Many, many versions.
perfectly functioning society on Earth. Hey!
Bee goes berserk. Oh, I love
Seven
that.
I know.
That's
Sting
hilarious.
himself.
Sting self.
Like what?
Then self.
There used to be 1,000 tuplets. Queen
Right.
delivers 1,000 tuplet
And this
headline there.
this
too.
took a long time
Yeah.
to get right.
And this too was a leap of faith because it was never completed.
That's even better
We had
without
to-
the
Yeah, it was in the storyboard from the beginning, but we never had what it was going to look like.
There's the nice beauty shot of your statue you like.
Yeah.
Here come the lads. And those wicked sounds are from the P-51, which I believe was your idea, Jerry.
It was the P-51 Mustang from World War II.
Yeah, and we plundered the vaults of Saving Private Ryan because they'd shot a load of P-51s and they had some fantastic flybys.
Right.
Or a
Look at all
tram.
the different wardrobes that each bee has.
Oh,
know.
there's over 900 male costumes and 1,200 female costumes.
I've never seen this honey before. It
Yeah.
looks fantastic.
Very good, yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
It's a good sign.
The whole movie is an Elvis bee movie. Every bee is kind of an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah,
I feel-
With the sideburns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sideburns.
And the heaviness and the puffiness. Elvis 72 if I
Oh, God.
in 74
See, that's what a good comedian does, is he feels for the soft underbelly of everything and he sticks the knife in. And
I'll get
that's-
berated in the car for this.
That's-
How dare you, during
Berated
my
in the car.
commentary.
It's the Barry Martyr story. I feel that people, when they talk to you, inadvertently will say something that should be the title of their autobiography title. Barry's would be berated in the car.
That's right.
I love this bit.
Yeah.
The animation is fantastic.
Yeah.
Pinned up against a mushroom.
And Adam's expression here as he's being slapped.
He was slapping me back.
So funny.
That joke came out in the
A lot of
animation
slapping in this
launch.
movie.
Yeah, there's a little slapping.
There is.
There's
I
10
love that
slapping
as well.
scenes.
Do you see there's a new trailer they have on TV now? It's all
It's all
slapping.
really?
It's great.
It's Let the Slap Fest Begin.
Oh, really?
Really?
And it's just all slapping. And it's 30-second spot of slapping.
Wow.
It's really funny.
This looks like
Oh,
a,
with the mosquito and...
Yeah, everything that on the plane.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
this looks
Yeah.
like a B. Elvis convention.
They're big fans of Elvis, I think, the bees.
Really?
Yeah.
And here's this moment you love,
Ooh,
Jerry.
that's a lovely shot.
Yeah, watch Barry's face here. Very subtle little acting he's doing there.
Here's the Sam Levinson character.
Have you decided what you're interested in?
Another broad-based
I was going to say, no one knows who Sam Levinson is,
Yeah.
Barry.
It's voiced by the guy who directed Rain Man.
Yeah, this is Barry Levinson.
Yeah.
It's my favorite line.
You grab that stick and you just move it around and you stir it around. You get yourself into a rhythm. It's a beautiful thing.
You know, Dad, the more I think about it, maybe the honey field just isn't right for me.
It is.
His mother is Kathy Bates. She's been in Misery and many others about Schmidt. Lots of stuff.
I'm not trying to be funny.
You're not funny. You're going into...
I love the parents of wardrobe. They're sort of the holdover from the whole graduate idea.
Yeah, we did open with a big party, like the graduate.
Yeah, Jerry, remember when this was all sort of a graduate idea?
Right.
Shack up with the grasshopper. Get a gold tooth. And start calling everybody dog.
So proud.
I can't believe we're starting.
The whole idea of bees driving when they can fly is hilarious to me.
Constant driving, too.
Yeah.
And the cars are so cute.
Who designed the cars?
We did.
Yeah. I love hair removal. Who snuck that in?
Swatting counsellor.
Like Inspector Number 7.
Yeah, what is Inspector Number 7?
And the restroom attendant. I think people still try to figure out what that means, right?
Yeah.
Step up and make your choice.
Not for the reason you think.
Yeah.
Matthew's really good in that scene.
Yeah.
You go.
Oh my.
Yeah, the animation was lovely.
Restroom attendant's always open, and not for the reason you think.
Any chance of getting on to the Krellman, sir?
Sure, you're on.
I don't know of any job where you work in a bathroom, you take a break, you come out of the bathroom.
Now you do it.
Now I'm doing stand-up 91.
He dies, that's an open. See that? He's dead, dead. Another dead one, deady, dead.
This is John Hill.
Yeah, Johnny Hill did this. It's great.
And remember when everybody was worried that we were mentioning death too much?
Yeah. People try to just cut that out, and we left it in.
We cranked it.
We added more
we added
references to death.
That's right. When the note was too much mention of death, we added
more.
10 more.
There was a trend in the movie. Every time mentioned, well, we were worried about this, we added more. Like 5 times as more.
I'll tell you another big problem we have in this film is overly defined buttocks.
Yes.
There's way too many
But we fixed
buttocks
that.
are We fixed some of them, not all of them.
We fixed the women.
There are people in this movie wearing very tight pants with a very tight, very low rise and a seam that goes right up their posterior that makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
No.
Rip Torn had tremendous energy whenever we record him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
A bottomless well of enthusiasm.
And he has a huge amount of energy, and you can see it in his acting, his voice performance.
What kind of bee can grow a mustache?
Very specific one.
I think there's only 2 bees with mustaches, Bob Bumble and Lulu Duca.
Birds and bats.
Lulu Duca.
Why would a bee grow a mustache?
Why not?
Why not?
Why would anyone grow a mustache?
That's true. What do you need a thing of hair under your nose
I think you had one for about 15 years. Why don't you enlighten us?
Until I wised
had a
up.
mustache?
I wised up.
You had a mustache,
I'd
babe?
love to see
What
you
am
with a
I
mustache.
growing a hair under my nose for? What's the deal with that?
It must be just a funky smell all day long when you have a mustache, just like old clothes.
That's what I said.
Can we mention the music at this point?
Yes.
Sure.
Because I think this is one of the best bits of music we have.
I love this.
The whole build up to them leaving the hive.
I love their boots. Get a look at those boots that they have.
I know you were very specific about those when we were in the business.
Yeah. They look cool.
These have great sound effects,
This is
too.
a great scene right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Found those petunias, use striped stem
I love that
suckers.
boom down.
I love that
It's a good line.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
How can you not
He's
laugh
really
on
into it.
Stem Sucker? I advertised for that once.
So many people mention how much they love the flying.
I know. This moment is where so many people are blown away.
Yeah.
And the
And
matte
it's-
painting is
The
fantastic.
matte painting is so
Yeah.
beautiful here.
Yeah, I think from the very first time I read it, I always imagined this as a roller coaster ride.
Right.
But this shot is so gorgeous.
And we added the kites to give a sense of speed when he flies.
Right.
Well, it's also really pretty. It's this sense of wonderment.
This part, just flying with the bees, all of it,
Yeah.
right?
That purple is nice.
I don't know why it makes me
Really
laugh.
just filling. Purple is nice.
I advertised for that
How do you
one.
like green, Barry?
Green, I'm not crazy about.
I love the B vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the insignia on their jacket too, the bee
Yeah.
insignia we came up with.
And there's different divisions
Yeah.
for the bees. This was a note that Stephen gave us.
That's true. Remember this whole explaining the science of
There's
pollination
yeah,
came
coming up.
from
Yeah, there's a
Spielberg.
little bit
Hand of Steven Spielberg in here.
sprinkling the magic.
Yeah,
And
this whole explanation of what pollination is.
And it was a
coming up.
great note.
And the writer Andy Robin supplies the voice for the pollen job.
That's right, Andy Robin.
Yeah, you did a great job.
After many tries at the mic.
We should talk about all the effects crew doing amazing things with the pollen and the flowers, and Noel Meyer, who's the cameraman and cinematographer on the show, did a brilliant job of making it feel like we're flying with these guys.
There used to be a fish here that jumped up and
Oh, that's
Right,
right.
that's right.
Yep.
Watch
They
your
said,
bass.
watch your bass.
Right.
What's your bass?
Was that out at what, 128, script
Script, I think it's
128?
I think that was
132.
out earlier.
Script 132, that went.
before that there was a blue jay at 3 o'clock that attacked Barry, remember? We cut that.
We had at one time 5 Cary Grant references too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Where did they all go?
Well, you can imagine where they went, Barry.
No, this was great, the music
Yeah.
here with the outer space idea.
That theremin.
Yeah.
The other world.
Sounds like Simon's phone.
Oh.
You can really even smell the tennis balls here.
I love the line chemically. That's
Yeah.
Andy Robin.
That's Andy Robbins'
Yeah.
one.
Because they do have a very chemical
Yeah.
smell.
Very unnatural.
Well, this animation is amazing.
And this idea
And the
of, make,
purple is really great too.
of making these tennis players, Ken and Vanessa, I think came from you, Simon, that very first meeting.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What, having Vanessa and
Just
Ken
like
be the
Ken
tennis
be the
player?
tennis
the very
players.
first meeting. Because before it used to be just two
There's
people.
two
people,
anybody.
right.
It's much more fun having these guys here, I think.
That turned out so great. Great moment.
And this scene, we probably shot about the most footage of any scene.
I was going to say, this was in layout for, I think, 12 months.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in what we call layout, which is like the animatic stage of production for about a year. Just trying to, we shot a lot of footage, and the layout crew did an amazing job, and we boiled it down. It was actually about 3 times as long.
And then the human world, we tried to make very sharp and right angles as a contrast. That the humans, you know, and especially Manhattan, is a very rectilinear kind of place. The city is laid out on a grid, and the buildings are square, and everything has a sharp edge to it.
And this shot came in late.
I was desperate for this shot.
Really great little sound.
Yeah.
effects.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to have a field day. We had a good laugh doing the Foley for this.
It's got a good rhythm to it,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
This, I love the sound here.
yeah.
She turns on the radio and he gets sucked through the air vent. I don't know how that works.
But New York won 5-1.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
That is Olivia Mattingly.
that's
my
right.
daughter.
Yeah.
That's right. And Ken Morrissey's son plays the little boy, one of the storyboard artists.
Oh, really?
Nobody move. If you don't move, he won't sting you. Freeze. He blinked.
This is a late joke as well.
I know, and a great addition.
Oh, it's one of my favourite shots.
Yeah, great shot.
Oh! Wow. The tension level out here is unbelievable. I gotta get home. Whoa. Oh! Oh! Can't fly in rain. Can't fly in rain. Can't fly in rain. Let's go! Mayday! Mayday! Be going down!
Ken, could you close the window, please?
Huh? Hey, check out my new resume. I made it into a fold-out brochure. You see? Folds out.
Oh no, more humans. I don't need this.
get you one.
Ow! What was that?
What's your...
This has been in the movie for a long time.
Yeah.
This oh, James! That is diabolical.
It's fantastic. It's got all my
That's the wonderful Patrick Warburton.
Even my top 10 favorite movies.
Ken used to be selling Zymonique, which was a fake diamond substitute we had.
We called him Ken because he's kind of like the Ken doll, which is this kind of prototypical male figure, and very stiff, very, you know, kind of unreal in a way. I don't remember the Sun having a big 75 on it.
Come on, Mo. I gotta tell you, I predicted global warming.
Him hitting a light bulb. I don't remember the Sun having a big 75 on it. That was one of the oldest lines.
Yeah.
That came from, right.
Stand back. These are winter boots.
That came later. These are winter boots. These are boots, though.
And then I love this shot because it keeps us in the moment with Barry. We
Yeah.
don't cut or anything.
This is always
great.
one of the best
Yep.
scenes that we've always had in the movie from the beginning, too.
Yep.
This is one of the longest.
That's a cute shot of Barry.
Yeah, I love this little reaction he does here.
Saying all life has value.
Right
You
here.
don't know what he's capable of feeling.
That's a little animation thing that's hard
Yeah.
to get. Acting was pretty good in this scene, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's great.
I love this bit.
Yeah.
The animation is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is another one of our things that we like. This little look on Barry's
Yeah.
face. She saves his life. This is really where the movie is kind of clicks into gear when this relationship begins.
And Jerry, I remember when you added that little bit where you wanted him to be hanging on to the
Right.
shore and linger there.
Yeah, we kept referring back to that moment, didn't we? No, we need to get the guy in the glass.
The guy in the glass, we kept saying. Like, the movie's about the guy in the glass. Knocking somebody out is also a special skill.
That's funny.
I gotta say something.
That was one of our best transitions, I think, in the
I
movie.
gotta say something.
Oh, yeah. Following that drop,
drop.
All right,
We got some.
suppose.
I think the
We need to-
Hunex door thing is great too.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things in animation I learned in this process is walking. It's very difficult for animators to get characters to look like they're walking realistically. I think it's a little easier with Barry, but you know, you get all the weight transfer and the joints, and there's so much to it.
Right.
And they really struggle with it. You know, one of the things I remember, this is kind of a funny moment, I remember in the early phases of making the movie, and they give you the timeline, they tell you, you know, this was like, whatever it was, spring of 2004, and they say the movie's going to come out in 2007, which of course sounds, you know, very Orwellian. You just go, well, it'll never be 2007. But I remember when we were designing Vanessa, and we were trying to figure out what the type of girl she should be, and then we came up with this little hairstyle. Somebody drew this little hairstyle, and we all liked that. And I remember thinking to myself, but who knows what women are going to look like in
I remember you said
2007?
that.
They could be totally different.
Right.
And I was really surprised that the clothes and the hair don't look old-fashioned. I mean, they are 4 years old. I thought maybe girls won't wear their hair like that in 2007.
That's right, I remember that.
It was like the millennium or something, you know. Maybe we'll have flying cars by then.
Yeah. Like those science fiction movies.
Well, we were supposed to have flying cars by the year 2000, weren't we?
Yeah.
There you go.
This was the first scene that we animated.
Yes.
Yes.
I think also what was this little segment from when Barry lands on the windowsill through to the next couple of scenes was the first scenes we boarded, and then once we saw it storyboarded and edited, we got really excited because after that point,
Also, when Jerry recorded with Renee,
yeah,
I mean, that was a huge
That's a huge
breakthrough,
thing.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic feeling between Jerry and Renee.
it was lovely because we really knew we had the goal of the movie here was the relationship.
Yeah, it felt like a movie when you saw this relationship. When you bought it, you realized, yeah, I guess these two could be friends.
Yeah.
You remember when Renee first came to the recording session, she had that idea that of playing Vanessa's kind of a young version of the Ruth Gordon's character Maude in the movie Harold and
right.
Maude.
Right.
She was terrific.
And if somebody could make friends with a bee this easily and quickly, you know, it would be.
It would be
Yeah.
her, right.
Are you all right?
No.
He's making the tie in the cab as they're flying up Madison.
So they always laugh when we cut to that scene on the sheet, and I don't know what they're laughing at. You know, on that cut, it always gets a laugh.
I always think it's because they're listening to you telling a joke, and it's familiar, and it makes them happy that you're telling the joke.
Is that a bee joke?
Yeah,
I love that joke.
Yeah, different. So anyway, what are you gonna do, Barry?
About work? I don't know. I want to do my part for the Hive.
This is a little moment we had towards the end, wasn't it? To make sure we kept on resetting the audience for Barry's character, so they understood where he was in his mind. So you
that he wanted to do what was right, but he couldn't do it.
He cared about something, and he wasn't sure how he was going to do that.
Anyway, you just immediately, as soon as you see them together and you hear them talk together, you just go, yeah, they seem like friends. I believe that they're friends. And that's one of the most fun things in the movie, is that you don't question a bee-human friendship.
Yes?
Why do girls put rings on their toes?
Why not?
Now, we tried to do a bunch of stuff with this mechanic in the back.
I love that line, "You're not going to jump, are you, man?" But there was no place to fit it in.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's another thing about death that people didn't want us to do.
Yeah.
It was like, there's too many suicide and death.
Too many leaps off a building in the movie?
Yeah.
I love that look, too.
Yeah, this is
It's
terrific
great
animation from everybody.
Sorry, I couldn't finish it. If I did, I'd be up the rest of my life. Can I take a piece of this with me?
It's a joke by Chuck Martin. If I did, I'd be up the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's lovely.
All right, well then,
Do we talk about the alteration there we made?
Sure.
We did have Vanessa taking a crumb from the corner of her mouth, but the way it looked like she put her finger in her mouth to remove something, and everybody feel slightly uncomfortable. It looked slightly unsavory.
But that was the intention. I did want it to initially be a more intimate connection, that she would take something from her lip and hand it to him. I thought that would be exciting.
Yes.
You know, this was
For a young
on her
bee.
lip a second ago.
Right. But I think it's still, no matter how we tried it, we reanimated about 3 different times.
Yeah.
It always made people feel slightly weirded out. So we changed it to, I think it was a wise choice as well, with the finger on the plate.
We had a lot of bee testing things here, and the only 2 that made it were the fly swatter.
That's
for
right.
this one.
Humans, I can't believe you were with humans.
So look at the way the floor reflects. It's like a mirror.
and crazy. They talk crazy. They eat crazy.
This movie was very challenging because there's so many crowd shots. There's about 70% of the movie is crowd shots. And there's bees flying around, there's bees operating equipment, there's a lot of bees. Everybody did an amazing job of making that happen.
That machine in the back we call the pachinko. This one's called the taffy puller here on the right.
And the centrifuge is there.
And what's this one called?
These are
Squeegee guy.
Squeegee guy, Diver Dan, Squeegee guy.
those are the honey vats with different types of honey and pollen.
Look at the cups with the honey water cooler.
Vending machine with honey.
Yeah,
And there used to be a fax joke.
Yeah, remember
right
the fax
there.
joke?
Oh yeah, the fax.
That's why the
joke.
fax machine in the bottom right-hand corner.
Right. Adam used to get a fax. His antenna would ring, and then he would kind of squat, and his stinger would fax out a message on the paper.
I believe it was Bazzano's.
It was
pizza.
Buongiorno's
Pizza.
pizza.
Yeah.
It was a junk fax.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, hey, we could. Oh, it's just a junk fax.
This is over.
Eat this.
This is not over. What was that?
They call it a crumb.
Stinging stripey.
I love this bee on the bottom left there.
And the noise as well. I love the noise. It's like,
What's he doing? Is he playing a slot machine?
This sounds like noises from $1 Billion Brain or something.
Listen to me. We are not them.
Now this is a good moment to talk about Jerry of what used to be a large musical number.
Right. You hear it when they surround Barry and they all start going, you got to start thinking B, thinking B. You can hear it sounds like a musical number is right here.
Thinking B, thinking B, thinking B, thinking B.
It sounds like a musical number is starting, and there was a musical number in there that it kind of threw the tone of the movie off track, and we had to lose that too.
But I think what's great is we have you and Matthew at the end credits, because you guys were so great together singing your song.
Yeah, you can hear us singing it if you wait to the end of the credits, which are 8 minutes long.
Just make a little honey. Barry, come out. from under there.
And Mark Shaman wrote the song.
Right.
It was
Mark
a very
Shaman
good
from
song.
Hairspray.
And this worked really well, I think, the transition.
Yeah, this
Oh,
was
this
a
is the
great
best
idea.
transition from this fizzy belt, and then his sweater appears, the wings appear.
Do you also want to talk, Trey, about, you know, The Graduate, your idea at the beginning of him floating in the pool?
Right. The Graduate's my favorite movie, and I kind of thought this could be like, thematically, we could, you know, do a lot of references to The Graduate. You know, that he's running off at night to see this person he's not supposed to be seeing.
Got everything?
Did I tell you? I didn't tell you guys. I told you. I was someday the other day. I was when I exercise. I like to listen to satellite radio. I like to listen to hits of the '70s.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
I'll tell you why I love to listen to the hits of the '70s. Because in 1970, I was a kid sitting in 10th grade in high school, and in 1979, I was on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. So that 10 years of my life, I think of as the biggest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, so they were playing the hits of '69 this week, and there were all these fantastic songs. And then they go, and coming up, the #1 song this week in 1969. And it was when we got our first review.
Yes, it was. It was the same day.
It was the same day we got our first review of the movie. And what was the #1 song of 1969 this week?
Winchester Cathedral?
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Close.
Wait, don't tell us.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Hey! Actually compete in athletic events?
What about the whole hive disorder that suddenly appeared in the real world, and then it somehow
Colony
mirrored
collapse
in-
disorder appeared a couple of years into us making the movie, and it was already our story that the bees were going to stop working after they won all the honey in the trial. So that was that had to be that, and us bumping into Ray Liotta on 57th Street, and him saying, "You got to put me in the movie," and me saying, "Yeah, sure, I'll put you in the movie." And then us ending up actually doing that. That and the hive disorder happening as we're making the movie were the two freakiest things that occurred during the production.
And he didn't think you were going to put him in. And he heard about the movie. He read in the trade papers that the movie was being done, and these people were in it. And he kind of said, "I can't believe Jerry didn't put me in the movie."
Yeah.
And
then we decided we needed, let's have an actor like a Paul Newman guy who's got a food line. But let's make him a guy who's kind of a bit on the downslide to make it funny. And who would be funny? First of all, you got to find a celebrity that's got a sense of humor about himself, which is not so easy either. And then it came down to just there's only a couple of guys actually that could play that part.
Yeah.
And we were thrilled to get Ray, and he was
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious, and also he came in. Remember. It was in the studio.
Right here.
He came in here and read, and I mean his shirt was soaked at the end of the session because he just gave you like 111%. It was really the most exciting thing for me sometimes when actors would come in here. John Goodman was like that.
Chris, you and Chris
Certainly
together
Rip Torn.
was great.
Rip Torn was like that. Patrick was like
I
that.
remember with Patrick is most of the time you were on the floor.
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
Right.
Now let's talk about that for a second. Is my penchant for autobiography titles.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I tried to give everyone I know. So I feel that people, when they talk to you, inadvertently will say something that should be the title of their autobiography title. Now, Nick Fletcher, our gifted editor and cinematic mastermind, one of the things you do in editing is like, you'll hear a line and you'll go, I don't really like the way the actor says that line. Each time you make changes, you say, do this and do that, and he has to sit there and assemble this whole thing, and it's just this, mind-numbing jigsaw puzzle. But anyway, and then I come in after he's done all this work, and I go, I don't like the way the guy says that line. Let me hear the other takes, the other versions of it. That's not a good read on that. So one of them that we had was of Freddie, who was the head of the apiary. So the scene is that they're shuttling school children through the apiary. through the Honey Farms apiary, charging them up the wazoo.
$40.
$40 for like
visit.
a 3-minute tour. They slap. We get the honey. We slap it, put it in some jars, slap a label on it. It's pure profit, which survived into this version. And then they get rid of the kids, and the kids go, "That's it? That's the whole thing? Yeah, that's it. Enjoy your 4-hour ride home on that stinking bus." So I said to Nick, "Do you have any other versions of Stinking Bus?" And Nick, what did you say?
So they got 57 takes.
Which he really did, because we worked it to death there in New York. He said, it wasn't 57, the actual number was...
36. It was like 36 takes.
I have 36 takes of Stinking Bus. And I go, that's the title of your autobiography.
36 takes.
I have 36 takes of Stinking Bus, the Nick Fletcher story.
What about Steve's autobiography?
They call me ma'am. Steve cuts his hair in a very distinctive fashion. And we've never been able to figure out how Steve gets just professional hair cutters to do this to his hair. But anyway, throughout his life, waiters and various
police officers,
servant people, and stewardesses constantly confuse his gender and say, "Ma'am, could you put your seat back up? We're about to land." And he looks up and they go, "Oh, excuse me, I didn't realize."
But sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
I've been on a 10-hour flight where they call me ma'am for the whole 10 hours.
Yes. And here's the beauty part of the story. He doesn't mind it. That's the weird part of the story. And he's a confirmed heterosexual, happily married for 25 years.
Well, I was thinking when he's out with his wife and they say, "Now, would you ladies like coffee?"
That happens all the time.
Right. So anyway, so then we came upon the title of Steve's autobiography, which would be They Call Me Ma'am, the Steve Hickman story.
And this was in the script from the very beginning, the very first one, wasn't it?
Yes.
I remember laughing out loud when I was listening.
Yeah. Me too. This was one of my favorite scenes when I first read the script.
This made me want to do the movie. Oh, and that's me.
That's Simon, the guy in the baseball hat.
There I am again.
There's Barry, but he doesn't speak.
No, it's not you.
Yeah, you don't get paid for this one.
No, it's somebody else.
Could it be me, though?
No, it can't.
No.
It's not the same model, is it?
It's his twin brother.
It's his twin brother, yeah.
Well, it's the same model, it may be same different
We're
surface.
supposed to change the colour of that sweater.
So I'm just assuming wherever this honey truck goes, that's where they're getting it. I mean, that honey's ours.
So when is lunch? As Christina will tell you, I will work like a mule, but I'd just like to know when lunch is.
Because that's what you're working towards.
Yes, that's what I'm working towards.
Let me finish this.
Yeah, after this, then lunch will be coming.
So I wouldn't notice.
People like coffee and cake, don't they? It seems to really go. It's like potato salad and coleslaw. Really just got together.
No, it's not even close to potato salad and coleslaw. Coffee and cake is at the top of the human food pyramid.
Really?
Of greatest combinations ever.
You don't think potato salad and coleslaw?
Chocolate and coffee?
I always thought potato salad and coleslaw, you pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Potato salad and coleslaw to me is like a blind date that just worked out. It's like, we're having roast beef. Would you like potato salad and coleslaw also? It just seems to go.
Comparing potato salad and coleslaw to coffee and cake.
Potato salad and coleslaw is the greatest combination that ever got together in the history of anything.
If I had a phone dial, I would hit a 5 button right now. No. What about coffee and cake is one of the ultimate human inventions. Potato salad and coleslaw.
Let me ask you a
are
question.
drippy, wet.
We're having roast beef. We must have potato salad and coleslaw.
No one says that.
This always meant the amount of evil laughing from the evil beekeepers is excellent.
Yeah, this is another thing that we apologize for being such fans of the film. If it's obnoxious, we're sorry, but anyway, one of the funny things here is that we portray these beekeepers as kind of like tobacco company executives, really mercenary and heartless, but the fact is these people in real life are the sweetest. They're like hippies, they're like old hippies.
And they love bees.
And
they're actually the only ones who love and care for bees.
They're the only ones that care
planet.
anything about bees, and of course we turn them in. Look at the face. Look at the face.
He can't wait to get his payload.
How about how cool that shot was up in the
I love
barrel?
the photograph of the two of them that comes in a bit.
And later on, we actually compare them to Enron.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's how thoughtful we are.
Yeah. Right.
How about that one? That doesn't look like Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, he sort of does with the collar. He sort of bathes his collar.
I really can't believe we got Drag Queen into the final cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to say that's my biggest surprise of this movie. I would have
Really?
thought someone. Well, that's a bit. I wouldn't call that a family-oriented kind of humor.
Well,
Or PG.
it's somebody who.
Is that what makes it PG? A joke like that?
Probably.
Yes.
We had
But
this
do know
scene
in real life
rewritten a
how lovely
hundred
they are.
times.
Yeah, they are lovely. Even though
This was a retirement village that they had like.
Oh yeah, it was.
So when we originally created this world, we were going to kind of do a Florida condo type gag. We were going to make it that these bees were kind of living in a Florida condo type environment. And my friend Sacha Baron Cohen, who you might know as the character Borat, came in and watched the screening of the movie one time. He says, I didn't understand why it was bad that the bees were stuck in these apiaries. It didn't look so bad to me.
It looked fun.
Because it was kind of all Formica and, you know, kind of prefab housing. And so, because of him, we changed it to this kind of very, what would you call it, downgraded look of, you know, the wood and the...
It's like a Russian tenement block.
Yeah, right. Kind of
had
POW camp looking.
They were going to build a bee outlet mall there.
That's right.
Yeah, they would say, we like it here, there's a tram.
There was dinner theater.
Yeah, there's dinner theater. We saw a moth doing a bee, we saw a bee doing a moth impression last night. And I don't like that kind of humor, but he was very
More
funny.
slapstick humor with
Yeah.
the chewing and the biting on the arm.
Lip balm for no reason whatsoever.
I saw a very funny. I mean, Barry and I have been laughing about the one. I always stop at the little box on the sidewalk because the front page is always great. The headline is "Piping Hot Calzone Missing," and then they have the quote from the person, which is, "Who would do something like this?"
What was that from?
The Onion.
Oh, I love that.
That's
Funny,
hilarious.
magazine.
Who would do something like this? It's just such an ugly crime.
Yeah.
You know.
Piping hot.
They always have things like that. There's like the small incidental things of life.
Yeah.
Headline like
Right.
man's striped shirt stolen or something like that.
Now this idea is one of our favorite. This is what we call a writer's room kind of joke that made it into the movie. Now normally you come up with the idea of, okay, well let's have Barry go on a Larry King in the Beehive. So let's say there's Larry King in the Beehive. Now normally, once you get an idea like that, you go, okay, that's fine, let's do that. You come up with another name for the character. You don't say, you don't use the real name. So the joke here for us was that we're so lazy, we didn't even bother to come up with a phony Larry King type name, or whatever that would be, you know, Larry Hive King or something.
Yeah.
We just called him B. Larry King. And the idea of that being, in any conceivable universe that you would create, there would be a Larry King. Just like any universe would have to have some sort of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, you would have to have Larry King.
It'd be like Moth Tommy Lee.
Also, you'll notice that this mug that Barry's holding is actually, there's kind of a continuity error. It's actually in the sequence preceding this. That somehow Barry got the mug, even though he hasn't even been on the
Yeah, and Adam has the mug when he's packing up
Yeah,
his
they
desk.
all have the mug.
But that's later. It's possible he could have it.
It's the only mug we could afford to design, so it's in every scene.
There was a lot of stuff that had to go into this movie. We had to move quickly.
I think it's funny that even kids know Larry King. Like at all the previews, like they all, like the 6-year-olds know who he is for some reason.
It's just on at everybody's house.
Yeah.
I really think the show is the dots. I don't think people care who's sitting there. I remember, Nick, when you first put that little thing there on the bus. That was Nick's joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nick did that.
That was a great joke, putting that crawl on the bottom, Barry says.
I didn't see how we could not do that, really.
You can try a lot of different jokes there. He says, why is yogurt night so difficult? But we tried many different lines in that spot.
So funny. It is what you see.
Ken looks like he has some kind of giganticism in the face.
Giganticism.
It's a caricature.
It just looks like
it's what we call a pushed character.
Yes. It's stylized.
Some kind of weird
stylism.
This was many different lines that because it's on his back. And you know, we used to make fun of other animated movies that had, I don't know what the term is, that they would shoot 150% of the movie. Let's explain that to the audience. In other words, so let's say the movie is 80 minutes long here. In many cases, the movie you watched, there is another 40 minutes of material that's been cut that you don't get to see. Or another whole movie in some cases. Yes. So what they would say is, I'll wrap this up in a second, Barry. What they would say is that Well, they made 200% of that movie, just to talk about what a beating the budget took.
Yeah.
But this movie, just in terms of ideas that were tried and tossed,
is about 3 movies.
at least 300 or 400%.
In storyboard form, we didn't animate.
I mean,
Yeah.
remember Willingham? That was so great.
Willingham was
He
a terrific.
huge...
And there was also a story idea at one point at the end of the movie that B. Larry King would meet up
That's
with
right.
Larry
With the real Larry King.
on the USS Arizona
Yeah.
in New York Harbor. It would be kind of a Japanese surrender kind of
That's
scene.
right.
Yes.
I loved that scene.
Yeah.
And also, they had an argument. Do you remember Larry King, when we recorded him, had an argument with himself?
He had an argument
right.
with real Larry King, yeah. This
Oh, I
is a
love this
joke
car.
that never quite... I love this car. This car is designed by Grant Larson of Porsche.
Really?
Company.
It's
Deutschland.
He's a friend of mine.
Look at the detail on the boots.
I know, I love those
Elvis
crocodile boots.
Those are Elvis boots.
This is the...
Oh, do you remember the joke we had here?
Yeah,
about
remember
Larry?
that? It just died. Remember?
Yeah, didn't we have
yeah.
Willingham in here?
That was one of our...
Chili. I never had the chili, but I'd love to try it.
Try it.
We used to have Willingham out in the front steps,
Yeah.
tucked
Yeah.
into the grip.
Right.
saying,
You know who I am? I'm Willingham.
I'm the world expert on bees. And the grip says to him, and somehow you missed the talking.
Right.
I have my suspicions.
There's quite a few heavy people in the movie, too, I've noticed.
Guess what, Barry?
Yeah.
There's quite a few heavy people, period.
In this room, perhaps.
You're representing all.
I said to Barry the other day, have you noticed there's a lot of fat guys on motorcycles? And whenever one of us says something stupid on the phone, the other one hits just one of the keys, like foul, you know?
Yeah.
He says, have you noticed there's quite a few heavy people, period? It's not motorcycles. It's got nothing to do with motorcycles.
Fat guys in cars, there's fat guys walking, fat guys on planes. Fat guy with you right now.
Yeah, there's two fat guys with you right now.
You're not fat guys.
I love the helicopter leaning that way.
So, the other day, this scene was playing on the Oprah. I was doing
Right.
Oprah. I told you this story.
No, you didn't.
So Julian, my son, is 4. So this scene comes on, and Barry starts doing the buzz, 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 and he just busts out laughing.
Really?
And I was really excited.
Wow.
That is great.
That makes kids laugh. I mean, I don't know what he thinks that is.
Right.
Thought it was
He loved
hilarious.
it.
Yeah.
What is it, 2?
4.
4.
And he's never seen the movie, right?
No. All I have is the commercials. I have like 4 of those 30-second.
Olivia loves it. I mean, she gets so excited every time it comes on. She screams. Everyone has to come running to the TV.
Well, what do
She
you think
loves
that is? You think she knows because it's mommy's, or
I
do you
think
think
it's
she
both.
likes
I
it?
think she's excited by it. I
Right.
think it looks funny. She laughs.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there's no trickery here. I'm just an ordinary bee. And as a bee, honey's pretty important to me. It's important to all bees. We invented it. We make it. And we protect it with our lives. Unfortunately, there are some people in this room who think they can take whatever they want from us because we're the little guys. And what I'm hoping is that after this is all over, you'll see how by taking our honey, you're not only... Let's talk about our idea of how the court system works.
Yeah. Well, for the moment, the very beginning, from the moment it starts, the jury's hung. Isn't
Right. It would have been a mistrial
Mistrial from the
immediately.
moment.
The jury makes it very clear where they stand at any point. They let you know. And after the whole trial is done, the judge decides what
Right. Yeah, right. There's a jury there, but for some reason the judge calls
Just
it.
gets very excited and says, well, I declare...
Let's save a lot of time with the deliberations. Let's call it what it is.
Don't worry, I know where you're going here.
This character is played by my friend Tom Pop, who's very talented stand-up comedian.
I noticed quite a few of the
There's also Paul and Jock, yeah.
quite a few of the humans look like Michael Buffer.
Who's Michael?
Who's that?
Barry is so caught up in this world of him and his brother living in this rundown apartment in Toluca Lake. He makes jokes only his brother would get. They sit there and watch boxing every Friday and Saturday night on HBO. And Michael Buffer is one of the ring announcer guys. Okay, that's enough. This is a great Simon Smith joke where the bear, once he's told that it's over, just gives up his whole performance.
Gets
He's
a
not
big
really
laugh.
a mean bear.
Yeah.
He's just putting it on.
Yeah.
Just a shill bear.
There's a lot of
This is a huge laugh.
Oh, Sting. He was a good sport,
He was
wasn't he?
so great.
Sting is great, yeah.
I love it when he came in to record it, when he was wearing his see-through lame tan.
Right.
He looked very
Very handsome.
attractive.
It's in great shape.
He's in great shape, kids, just so you know.
He was great though.
Look at that kind of pelt hair he has. It's like,
Yes.
it's like G.I. Joe kind of glued on hair.
That G.I. Joe with lifelike hair.
Yeah, right.
Kung Fu Grip, that guy. We love that Ray Liotta always carries his Emmy around.
Yes. This is a real, by the way, this Ray Liotta actually does have an Emmy for a guest spot on ER in 2005.
That's right. He corrected us when we were recording.
Yeah, we didn't make that up.
No, this guy is a fantastic comedy actor, Ray Liotta.
Fantastic comedy actor, fantastic dramatic actor.
And a great sport.
Yeah, and a great sport.
Really,
and how? And what kind of outrageous show business crime is it that he doesn't have an Oscar for Goodfellas?
It is. It's one of the best performances ever.
That's why awards are, you know what?
I like when he's standing on the podium at the end like a lunatic.
Yeah. Say it.
Say it.
This guy in the middle really kind of steals the whole. He becomes a jury foreman, self-appointed jury foreman. I don't really like that guy.
The security guy, trying to keep everybody down.
Yeah.
I think the jury's on our side.
This gets a laugh, the little Missy logo.
At one point, Barry's going to take that salt that's next to him and put it on his pee, but we never actually did that.
Oh, really?
That's what that...
Here comes that gigantic head again.
Hello.
I can't believe somehow we found a way to work giantism into this whole DVD commentary.
Giganticism.
Giganticism, yeah.
This was a joke that came in later.
Yes.
I couldn't let go of this tragic doom love triangle thing. What a great Patrick thing.
Yeah, heat it up, sure, whatever.
So, I hear you're quite a tennis player. I'm not much for the game myself. I find a ball a little grabby.
Patrick was great in this.
This is one of my favorite scenes.
This is a lot of ours. This is our favorite scene.
I love the interplay between the two of them.
A little,
Patrick was great.
Yeah.
This is, to me, what I love about this movie is that he has got himself in his life, this Ken, in a problem where a bee's trying to steal his girl. That to me
He thinks that.
You never know what happens in life, but who ends up in this situation? You got an insect, you know.
Dating your girlfriend.
That's
First
what
he
I
starts
like.
talking, and now he's having dinner.
Yeah, he's just trying to fill a resume out at Kinko's, and now he's got this problem.
Yeah, who figures an insect is going to just derail their relationship, their career,
everything.
Yeah.
I love Barry picking the piece of paper up.
Right, Barry taking the reading material. And of course, being able to close the door is another joke.
Who knows how that happens?
And turn the light on, right?
And this is, Simon and I think this is our favorite line in the movie.
You know what?
You know what?
That take was so great.
Which line?
When he comes in the bathroom and says, you know what? He's kind of very happy that he's finally got a reason to kill him.
Yeah, he's got the excuse he needed in his mind. He's got a
The
clear
big Barry Martyr moment's coming up in a minute. Anticipation for that.
Look at the texture on that toilet paper, by the way.
How do you like the smell of flames?
Not as much.
This worked, I remember.
Yeah, I remember that took a while.
Yeah. I remember fighting with the enemy.
This guy gets hit on the head 64 times.
Barry.
Water bug, not taking sides.
Yeah, very nice.
See, there's no here.
There's no what?
There's no word here. It's Waterbug not taking sides.
That's right.
It doesn't say not taking sides.
Write up another check for $5.60
Yes.
and send it out to Barry's apartment.
I like when he says blue water.
It's blue water.
Oh, I thought it was blue water.
Oh, that's
Blue water.
Blue water.
Let me hear that again.
Coming up.
Blue water!
See?
Who would go, blue water?
Because blue water is a toilet bowl refresher.
Yeah, that's true.
The tiny ball.
What kind of sick relationship is this?
Which one?
Yeah, everybody here take one step to the right for a sick relationship. Girl likes B, B likes girl. This guy's trying to get to steal my good baby.
This is another late edition, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of my favorite moments. So funny.
Was it 2 exits he makes or 3?
2 comebacks.
This is always one of the best scenes that we've always had in the movie from the beginning, too. This is one of the longest.
On this emotional roller coaster!
Goodbye, Ken. Ugh!
And for your information, I prefer sugar-free artificial sweeteners made by man.
I'm sorry about all that.
I know it's got an aftertaste. I like it.
I always felt there was some kind of barrier between Ken and me. I couldn't overcome it. Oh well.
Are you gonna be okay for the trial tomorrow?
This role was a tough one to get.
It was.
It was.
But you always, Jerry, had wanted.
I'd always wanted John Goodman for this.
B to the stand.
Now that's a good idea. You can really see why he's considered one of the very best lawyers.
This guy's great too, Sammy Davis, juror.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis,
There's
juror.
another heavy guy in the back.
That was the name of his
There's
character.
another morbidly obese guy in the back.
It's Montgomery with a mustache. Let's be honest.
There's not much variation you can get.
It's another. It's not Montgomery. There's a bunch of
Every
crowd
other
guys
human
we
has
had.
a massive weight problem.
Well, yeah, but what kind of huge food company executive has a Frito Bandito mustache?
We had to go into the mustaches. Remember our mustache problem?
There's a lot of facial hair was taken out of the movie.
Yeah, and
Everybody
still quite a
used
bit remains.
Yeah, everybody had a mustache.
Why do we need these liver spots on Montgomery chic here? Is that helping anybody?
It's good. It shows
Realistic.
Big blood.
Hey, that's not the kind
I've seen a bee documentary or two. Now, from what I understand, doesn't your queen give birth to all the bee children in the hives?
Yeah, but...
So those aren't even your real parents.
Oh, Barry.
Yes, they are.
Hold me back.
You are an illegitimate bee, aren't you, Benson?
He's denouncing bees.
And don't y'all date your cousins?
Objection!
I'm gonna pincushion this guy.
Adam, don't. That's what he wants.
Oh, I'm here! Oh, Lordy, I'm here! The venom! The venom is coursing through my veins!
Here's your buttocks scene that you.
Here it comes.
This is in full glory right here.
Prepare for this. This is not going to be. This is very unappealing.
This is really in full glory here.
Yeah.
I know, but it's unappealing in an appealing way.
Well,
Appealing way.
there is someone
Well, they're
in
trying to
America-
make it a attractive derriere at a gigantic size.
I want to be honest with you. Someone in America will find that attractive.
Here, look at this. Oh,
I think
God.
that's fantastic.
I love the little the twitches.
Twitching,
here.
Yeah.
And people seem to really like that
This.
tableau.
And look at the newscaster and the nurse. Same face, same character.
Newscaster is Carol Leifer.
Right,
Yeah.
Carol Leifer, a good friend of mine, talented stand-up comedian and writer.
I love this music.
This music is
So
fantastic.
great.
Just did it one take. It's just one take. One whole take. It was phenomenal.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Is it much pain?
Yeah.
That got a good laugh here,
Yes.
hitting
Yeah.
the clicker thing.
After the whole
Look at the drooping antenna because he's not
Yeah.
feeling well.
Thing is, you're
In
alive.
the little
Notice we
magazine.
graded him less than Barry, so he's ill. And
Right.
then at the end of the scene, it gets a little bit better.
A little perkier.
They got it from downstairs.
Oh, this is great.
Look, there's a little celery stick.
We also had Flea Circus here along with the Roach Motel.
That's right.
That's right.
Which I always
What
liked.
was the other thing? Flea circuses, roach motels.
They did it to
Ant
Flea
farms.
circuses, ant farms,
Yeah, he says,
right.
well, they have ant farms, flea circuses, roach motels. They're obviously capable of anything.
Yeah.
Never got a laugh.
Look
there.
what they did to the fleas.
Look what they did to the fleas.
We're just a couple of bugs in this world.
What do you think the humans will do to us if they win?
I don't know.
I hear they put the roaches in motels. That doesn't sound so bad.
Adam, they check in, but they don't check out.
That gets a big laugh.
Yeah.
That's what remains of that
Right.
three-part joke.
Could you get a nurse to close that window?
Why?
The smoke is a pretty good effect.
Bees
It
seem
is,
to like that
great.
Chuck
It's
Taylor
perfect. It's
sneaker,
nice and
don't they?
subtle.
Right.
This is where we make our anti-smoking statement.
Yeah.
I like that you can smoke right into a hospital
Bees
room.
are smoking.
That you wouldn't think.
They used to be doctors,
Yeah.
remember?
Right.
Yeah, they were doctors,
Outside the window.
but we thought that was too real.
Well, considering the size of the medical assistants, how heavy they are when they swivel around with your chart.
Yeah, in the meantime, they don't look in the window and go, is that two bees in there in one of our hospital rooms? What the hell's going on in this place?
Yeah.
Mr.
This word.
Flynn,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir.
That guy's very proud in the back there.
Yeah.
And the guy making the boat.
Oh, I didn't see
Puttering along.
You know, bees
It's the third guy right next to
You
him.
only questioned the bee thing once, that was the MetLife jacket thing.
Right.
When I said that, you said, you got mad at me, you berated me and said a bee wouldn't wear a MetLife jacket, and I went, you mean the bee the attorney?
How much longer are we going to allow these absurd shenanigans to go on? They have presented no...
This is a sight gag that came out later in the process.
Where's Montgomery's jacket, by the way? Why is he not wearing a jacket?
Because we couldn't
He
put it
couldn't
in
do it with the seat.
the seat. We couldn't make it work.
It's got that thing on his neck.
And it looks like he's been to hospital and he's had some problems.
We have a terrific case.
Where's your proof? Where's the evidence? Show me the smoking gun!
Hold it, Your Honor. You want a smoking gun? Here is your smoking gun.
What is that?
This whole structure here of having no smoking gun was Steve Hickner's idea of having Barry produce the gun.
That's right.
And come in, and that really was a great addition.
The smoking gun and the smoking gun.
How do we ever not think of that sooner?
And we got
Remember,
rid
it
of the
used to be
queen.
the queen.
Characteristic of
Supposed to be
every
the
good
person,
idea is
yeah.
it seems so obvious. How could you not do it?
That's how you know it's a good idea.
We have eradicated the bees 8 times in this movie.
See that whole way that guy slides across the table. If you kind of watch like the way his eyes go from side to side, the way he, see, the little grimace he does with his teeth, all you have to work on that whole little thing. And that other little gesture, that's from my sitcom, that little Newman thing we used to do. That's the character does that I used to do. Barry, why don't you talk for a second about why you like that line when Montgomery comes over to Barry and says, "You'll regret this, Benson. This is this is an unholy perversion of the balance of nature. You'll regret this." Let's just talk a little bit about what that line does in terms of the whole story structure of the movie.
This is an unholy perversion of the balance of nature, Benson. You'll regret this.
I like that line because to me what's funny about this movie, you know, the big core funny thing is that a bug would sue a human. It's like a cockroach suing a construction worker.
What do you mean?
When you get that in there, now when he comes over and he says that this is going to throw off the whole balance, that to me is something I didn't expect in this movie. You know, it takes that movie from being a funny movie to, hey, there's a real problem that could happen here. You know, and it just kind of hit me like, you know, this went to, you know, in a good screenplay, it's get that character up a tree, and then you got to get him down.
Right.
I believe we're all aware of what they do in the woods.
I think this sequence is the best it's been now because we had it like a smorgasbord of events happening on top of each other.
Right.
And then, was it Stephen or somebody?
It was Stephen, I think,
to split
again.
the two things
Right.
up. So you have
Tell this story.
the flowers dying first,
Right.
and then you have the bees not working second. You have the collecting the honey and the flowers dying, and then you have the bees chilling out.
Right.
Oh, we had it.
We had them all
We had it
different
all
lines,
intercut.
yeah.
Many times we try to make it work. And I think, actually, no, I think the way it is now, obviously, is the honey is rounded up. They collect all the honey, and then they stop working because they don't need any more honey, and then when they stop working, the flowers start dying. So
Right.
it's really clear.
It's a cause and effect.
Yeah, it's a
We
cause and
were
effect.
sort of
And we
jumbled
didn't
it all
have that.
together.
We kept on trying to make it work, and it wasn't quite landing.
But I think one of your great ideas, Jerry, was putting them sunbathing. Somehow that
Yes.
says idleness.
Yeah.
Which we never could get
Without,
that visual.
it's not like it's not total boredom.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
Yeah.
there's gallons more's coming.
Gallons more's coming. That was Dave
Herman.
Dave Herman. It was his first take of that line. He screwed it up. He said more's instead of there's gallons more coming, and we thought it was funny, so we just left it in.
I love the James Bond style music, and then
Yeah.
they're huge.
I like when he
It's
says
the War
turn your
Games
keys
moment.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Very official.
Matthew's fast.
Yeah.
I like the way they move.
I love the
down
music
here.
Yeah, me too.
here too. That starts.
I like the way it becomes a TV image.
This guy seems to look like one of the village people at this point.
I haven't noticed his little Hunex corporate shirt that guy was
Yeah.
I love this scene
from the
last
Hunex
night.
I
show.
love
Yeah.
this scene.
I saw that for the first time
Oh,
last
yeah?
night. The way it was
Which one,
animated,
Barry?
where they're all in the chaise lounges.
Yeah.
Right. It's Shays, by the way.
It's Shave Lounge?
If you ever have to say it again, which I doubt, but if you ever do.
I love this effect too. Remember, they thought this was going to be a really hard one.
This is a huge, fantastic thing they did.
Chevy Chase would be
what, to do the day-night?
Yeah, in terms of
a huge
effects
thing.
and the
Everybody did a fantastic
passage.
job on it. There's so many huge undertakings in this movie.
That was something Nick put in.
Nick put that in, yeah.
Is Adam growing a quarter of an inch?
Larry King mug there for a second.
Yeah.
That's right.
Adam looks awfully big there.
He's in the
Just the
foreground.
camera.
It's just perspective, Barry.
It's like he's growing a quarter an inch a scene.
Remember when the sword was missing halfway in some scenes after? Yes, he did know.
I didn't realize it, but I heard, and then I was upset that we were putting it in. I thought, the sword joke is over. Let's
Right.
not
No,
have
but
the
you
sword.
can't.
You can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No.
Well, it's like the
Everyone-
guy that gets in a fight in a live-action movie. How long do you keep the Band-Aid on?
Oh, some of them all the way.
Matthew's really good in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the animation was lovely.
Let me just ask the question of why so much blue? Is it just because it's a good complementary color with all the orange and yellow?
Yeah, it's sort of technology based.
I like the
Technology
color.
based? What does that mean?
That's a
What
Sherwin.
kind of BS that they throw at you when they do it?
I think
Nobody wants
it's
to
a
do any more work.
it's a great
Complementary
compliment.
to orange.
Some
And it's
Sherwin
also-
Williams
Oh, you
talk
mean
in there.
technology within Honey?
Is that a latex base?
Well,
Not
sort
from
of
a filmmaking point
laboratorial.
of view.
Laboratorial?
Is that a word?
No.
What are you, Boris
And
Karloff?
if I went into a laboratory, I wouldn't go, hey, where's all the blue?
But in terms of colours, when you do testing things, blue means the future, and the bees have been around a long time, so
Really?
they're slightly ahead of us.
You
It
got
was
a blue
better
ring
than
in
white.
Blue means
The white was
future.
too
Yeah,
stark.
green's technology, blue's future. And
Really?
And whose
No,
rules
yellow
at
is
the time? Who made up those rules?
No, it's not.
I thought black was high tech and
And silver.
Any
Yeah,
color
there's
you want
arguments.
to be high-tech is high-tech.
the great thing about this sequence is it's very moving, but we also got in two great jokes.
Yeah.
Vegetables, they all need bees.
Renee, I love in this scene. I think she's.
See, now here's where you really have the
Wonderful.
movie here.
Produce,
Yeah, she's really great here.
animal kingdom, and then, of course,
Human species.
That got a big laugh.
Yeah, that was a great laugh last night.
This thing with the suicide pact and this was Morgan. What's his last name?
Kelly.
Morgan Kelly. This is one of my favorite laughs in the movie. It's very hard to get a laugh off of something this small. When she says, "Well, that just kills you twice,"
Right.
and he just does that little thing on his lip.
Yeah.
And the reason you laugh is because the acting is so good, the way people would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Does any bee wear like a short sleeve shirt with buttons? Or is it all sweaters?
No,
No, they wear polo shirts.
They're polo shirts.
I love that two-shot as well.
I do too.
Of if you think about that, of like where would you put the camera to get the bee and the girl in the shot at the same time? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great.
But this is a scene that we boarded and it really never changed in 3 years.
No.
it's the last chance I'll ever have to see it.
Vanessa, I just want to say I'm sorry. I never meant it to turn out like this.
I know. Me neither.
And that line there, I had to open my mouth and talk. That's probably the most sincere I've ever done anything in the show business industry. I actually had to be sincere.
Was that
It
hard?
was so hard and so uncomfortable.
It was hard to get it out of you, actually.
Oh, I just hated it.
So in all of our conversations, you're never sincere?
Yeah, it works, but it was like an excruciating. It was like getting a needle at the doctor.
That
when
bad to be
when you
sincere?
all said to me, you really need to be sincere here when you say, I had to open my mouth and talk. It was just like pulling your pants down and getting the shot in the butt from the doctor when you were a kid.
You gotta mean
Oh
it.
God, I
I
gotta
can't
mean
believe
this.
sincerity is that hard to come by.
I've done very well in 31 years of comedy without being sincere once.
Well, you were
And then I ran into this problem.
Well, it worked.
I had to. I was caught.
Nonetheless, I have another idea, and it's greater than all my previous great ideas combined.
I don't want to hear it. Oh,
All right, here's what I'm thinking. They have the roses have the pollen. I know every bee, plant, and flower bud in this park. All we gotta do is get what they've got back
Should we
here.
talk about some of the great actors that are not in the film that recorded?
Yeah.
Eric Idle.
Eric Idle did a wonderful performance.
And he narrated the movie.
Yeah, he's world
With his
expert on
assistant.
bees.
World's foremost bee expert, but somehow he missed the talking.
And that was Eric Idle.
That was played by Eric Idle.
Yeah.
And in the end of that movie, his plan was he wanted to be the first bee king by transplanting his head onto Barry's body with some sort of machine that he had fashioned from watching The Fly with Jeff Goldblum in 1986.
Yeah.
Over and over
The
again.
Goldblum machine.
He called it a Goldblum machine. He wanted to lure Barry into this glass chamber and remove his head and put his the Willingham head on Barry's head, and then he would be the first king of the bees.
It was so good.
Steve Landisberg. People are going, why did you take him out? Why? Believe me, folks, we really didn't want to take him out, but it's a tricky thing when you're telling a story. You can have, and I really felt prey to it, all the time, going off on detours and tangents and just that had nothing to do with anything, but just things that I thought were funny. And when you played for an audience, we'd do test screenings, and the audience would get lost, and they'd get confused, they'd lose track of the film, and they would end up not liking the movie because they didn't really know what the story was about.
Yeah, we always had to stay with Barry, with the character. The minute you deviated from that, it never worked.
Yeah, once you
People
didn't
got
state
lost.
his point of view, then they lost focus and they didn't know what to care about.
Yeah, it was a frustrating thing for me because I frankly am not that interested in the story. I would rather just make jokes.
Yes, we found that out.
Yeah.
Let's get bring you back.
I think the biggest problem we had in the story structure of the movie was the end of the trial. Mary wins the trial. Always kind of felt like the end of the movie.
Yes.
It kind of let the air out of there. That there was no more tension. It was like problem solved, movie over.
And we didn't want to do that traditional structure of where you would end with
the
him
trial.
winning
We
the
didn't want to do right. And somebody made the point to me that it's very unusual that the big trial scene is in the middle of the movie.
Exactly.
It's always at the end.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, that's fresh.
Yeah.
So one of the ways we kind of had to solve the problem was the second he wins the trial, Montgomery comes over and kind of warns him that this is going to have a bad consequence.
Here comes one of my favorite lines in here.
Wait a minute! I'm an attorney!
I'm an attorney.
I know, I love that line.
We had a few different lines that Barry would say when he's on the bald guy's head, so the guy doesn't attack him. He's trying to explain to him, look, I'm not just a bee. I'm talking. I'm on your side. So one of them was, I'm an attorney. One of them is, I'm a frequent flyer member.
Right.
Yes.
I'm a Miles
And
Plus.
the guy said, who else? Who isn't? You know who I bumped into at lunch yesterday? Is Hans Zimmer's good friend Jim Brooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had a nice chat. He's a lovely guy. He's a creator of the Mary Tyler Moore Show and As Good as It Gets and
very
Terms of
involved
Endearment.
very involved in The Simpsons.
The Simpsons as well. And he was very curious about my experience of the animation process and, how uncomfortable it gets when you think you can change something at a certain stage of it and then find out you can't.
Right. You experienced that.
He was also a big fan, Barry, of our TV Juniors that we made for NBC.
Oh, really? Has he been watching them?
Yeah. He asked me if he could get a DVD of all of them together.
I can get it for him later. Not now.
No, Jim Brooks.
No one ever
Could
gets
you
anything
remember
for
that?
anybody on the spot.
What about Jim Brooks?
No, Barry was asking Hans Zimmer, and I said, no, I think you mean Jim Brooks.
Oh. Who's a fan of what?
Jim Brooks is a fan of the TV Juniors.
I like Hans Zimmer's name. Sounds like a small musical instrument.
Well, it's somewhat appropriate.
He blew a Hans Zimmer the other day.
Yeah, or some sort of marzipan cookie that you would buy in Europe.
Also somewhat appropriate.
Yeah. It's very good with coffee.
Yeah.
Like at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a perfect tea time accompaniment.
Yeah.
Body mass doesn't make sense.
Get this on the air.
You got it.
Stand by.
We're going live.
The way we work may be a mystery to you, because making honey takes a lot of bees.
Hey, it's a bit more
This was
sincerity.
another more sincere moment for
Sincerity,
you, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, it still wasn't as hard as I had to open my mouth and talk. I mean, that was really,
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Had to land
I like this. There's
There's
the wheel
Wheel-O.
There's Wheel-O.
And people love those
yesterday.
hexagonal cards.
Right.
I love Uncle Colin.
There it is, Barry. Black and yellow. Hello.
That's Barry's
I got it in
black
here.
and yellow.
We're
Hello.
going to put
We
that on
tried
the
for a
poster.
year to get it in.
We tried to get us an ad campaign.
This is another heavy blue. Why is this so
Let's
blue?
talk about the poster.
Very high tech.
Why is this all blue?
It's the future.
Plane's
Jerry,
blue.
it's the future.
The sky is
high
blue.
tech.
Blue is the future.
The autopilot's blue. The panel is. Her chair is blue. I don't get it.
It's the blue is the animator
That's why.
future
We
color.
want to know they're in danger. That when they
Cool.
come out, we know they come
Oh,
out.
can you hear this crap, folks out there? This is what they say to you when you're working on a movie. You say, gee, that doesn't look right, and then they start saying, well, this is an animation thing that we do. It's
Well, you want to know they're in danger?
You know,
Look.
10 minutes
Oh,
ago, blue meant
Meant the future.
technology. Now
Right.
it means danger.
I thought red meant danger.
Is there anything else?
Oh,
Please write it down.
the BS flies so fast and furious around these
It's
places.
whatever it needs to be.
Whatever we need to shut you up, that's what it is.
More blue
Here's more
for
blue
you.
for
More
you.
blue.
Yeah, more blue.
Why
The
so
whole
much-
damn thing is
It's
blue.
You
pretty.
need to get to a Sherwin-Williams.
Because it's pretty. Okay, that's at least some kind of an answer.
It's attractive.
I know it looks fake, but it's pretty.
It's not fake. It's
That's at least you're not treating me
I
like
love
an
this
idiot.
moment. This is one of my favorite moments, the
Yeah.
slapping that we never thought was going to work.
Yeah.
It kills.
And it
Travolta gets a big laugh.
Yeah,
too.
a big laugh.
Well, the idea that a human hand could even
Right.
hit a bee in the face so flush that it would make a sound like that.
And it's
that
got
was a
that.
leap of faith because you never really could see it until it was completely, fully executed.
Right.
It has that, Bogart type of thing that Barry
Yeah.
gets to do.
Did Barry come with us to Phoenix or no? Oh, he missed
No.
it.
No, he missed that
Barry.
fateful day.
Yeah, Barry.
One of the last, I think the last credit in the film belongs to Chris Bianco of Phoenix, Arizona,
Put him in?
who is our
Yeah.
good friend.
Yes.
Wow.
And he is a master. He's a pizza master. He has a pizzeria in Phoenix called Pizzeria Bianco. And it is the best pizza in the world,
It is
including Italy.
Beyond the best pizza.
It's phenomenal.
And he's a wonderful guy. He's our good friend. And we went there to celebrate the end of the movie. It's called a wrap party in the business.
That's right.
And I guess there was maybe 8 or 10 of us went. We flew to Phoenix and just had pizza there that day. And so we gave him a credit at the end of the movie because we love his pizza so much. Pizza consultant Chris Bianco.
Really?
And Barry, who knows a good meal when he sees it,
What are you insulting me?
stayed in town for some meetings that I'm sure will change the course of Mighty Rivers.
What meetings?
But Barry, you were
Yeah.
there the first time we went.
I've never
We've been there
there,
twice.
no. The bee
And
looks
we have
awfully
a
big
cameo
here,
coming
Jerry.
up, right?
It's a camera angle. He's close to the lens. She's far away.
It's perspective, Barry.
Perspective.
Should we talk about our cameo?
Who?
Let the audience
I would
discover
defer
that.
to you on that one.
Who's got a cameo?
There's a head of another major animation studio who has a cameo.
Really?
Oh, around about here.
Right
Maybe
there.
there. Maybe not.
Who?
This worked well. The anime. The
Yeah.
anime-
Oh, are you
that
kidding?
thing,
This was
everybody got
terrific.
that.
This came out much better than I thought.
Good.
That's what I
Thank
said
you,
about
Barry.
much of your work.
I love that shot where it goes from the monitor up to
Yeah,
the
me
real
too.
thing. The radar.
I love when you say, drop it in, woman.
Why do
Yeah.
you like that?
It's
funny.
ridiculous.
That's great, that. The crowd system was
Now I have
fantastic.
my little cameo coming up.
Hey!
Here's Christine, our producer, on the left, and Miss Blackberry. And that was Ed Bradley before.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sadly.
Ed Bradley's last appearance.
Ed Bradley was who?
He's on the
The guy in
plane.
the
The
background.
gray bearded black guy.
Yes! No, high five! Right! Barry, it worked!
This was great. This was
He's
a late
still got the
addition,
sticker
pushing
on.
him out.
Of course I saw the flower! That was genius, man! Genius! Thank you.
I always loved that tie that Adam
Oh,
wears.
yeah. Oh, you like the
I
time.
tried to find one like that. I couldn't.
Well, we should talk about the song.
What song?
Here comes the song.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. We were very excited that the Beatles gave us the right to use their song in the movie. And we struggled for a long time to come up with an ending that we all felt good about. And Nick was the one who figured out
Yeah.
if
Nick
we
first used
play
it.
this song through the comedy scene in the florist, you'll feel like, because you don't want to feel like the movie's going to keep going after this.
Yeah.
You're really ready for it to end at this stage.
Keychain was Andy Robbins' line.
Yeah. It was?
Yep.
Huh. But and then
Spike.
Sheryl Crow came in.
That was
and
Spike.
did-
Or
Very,
could it?
I'm sure that's,
Oh, really?
that's a Spike Firestone joke, yeah.
We should talk about Sheryl Crow and what an amazing job she
Yeah,
did.
Sheryl Crow sings the song. There's a beautiful version.
She did a great job.
A really great job.
Really good. I like the orchestration.
Yeah,
that
and
it-
Hans came in and with Rupert and they did some orchestration.
Yeah.
And we even had George Martin in the studio, the famed Beatles producer, came in and then listened
Check
to
it
us
out.
do it. And was it Abbey Road or?
It was at Air.
Will that be on the
Which is
album,
his
Here Comes
studio.
the Sun?
Yeah, she
Should
did
be.
Jules Martin.
Apparently
I hope
he came
you
up
put-
from his country home
Yeah, just to hear it.
to be there.
Wow.
I hope you
recordings.
put that original song on the album too that you and Shaman wrote.
Yeah, that will be on there as
I
well.
love that song. Actually, I'm sorry it's not actually in the movie, in the middle of the movie.
Well, we tried.
Never
Well,
worked.
we all have regrets, don't we?
I've had a few.
Too few to mention.
That's catchy.
There's another heavy guy.
No heavy guy. It's the same guy. We've got 4 characters. We put them in different mustaches and shirts.
Yeah, the pilot is Dan Hagenstein.
Don't reveal our
Yeah.
secret.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Columbus is 67th. That's where I met my wife, by the way.
Really?
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Is that why they...
I don't think
I
so.
think it's
Just
a coincidence. But a good one.
It's a great little detail for the...
It's this kid doing with Larry King's glasses.
Yeah, I know. And the mug.
You got 4 glasses. They're all the same.
We have 1 pair of glasses.
This is a great shot. Took him a long time to do.
The pollen wisp, Simon, you were really working hard on those.
Anybody needs to make a call, now's the time. I got a feeling we'll be working late tonight.
Well, now we can begin to talk about the end of the movie.
And how many?
And how many different endings that we have.
Oh, God. This is going to hurt a little.
This is ending number 150.
Yeah.
It is be a prayer.
Even the cow thing showed up earlier and as a line, not as a whole scene, just as a joke.
I love the way the bell dingles there.
I do too.
Feels like a piece of meat.
I had no idea.
Barry, I'm sorry. Have you got a moment?
Would you excuse me? My mosquito associate here will be able to help you.
Sorry I'm late.
He's a lawyer too?
Ma'am, I was already a blood-sucking parasite. All I needed was a briefcase.
That's a big laugh at the end.
Yeah.
Who could do that line better than Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great character, and that really came alive when we got Chris Rock.
Barry. Can I help? Who's next?
By the way, you know United Airlines' new slogan?
What?
It's time to fly.
Really? That's great.
Really?
Yep.
From this?
Yeah, from this Barry. They stole it from
What happened to We're Ready When You Are? I called him up. I'm in the shower. I'm almost ready.
I think that was Delta, wasn't it?
Delta's ready when you are. I said, give me another 15 minutes.
For those of you who love stand-up from the early 80s, there's just another good example of it.
Bravo.